Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
For today's program, we have two short but interesting articles for you. Let's take a look at the first one. It's called Amazing Images from the James Webb Space Telescope.
我们的中文标题是韦伯望远镜探索远古宇宙。
All right, I'll read through these two short paragraphs for you, and then, as usual, we'll go back and explain in Chinese and English each and every sentence. The first images released from the new James Webb Space Telescope have astonished people worldwide. The Webb telescope is considered to be the successor to the famous Hubble telescope, which has made many scientific discoveries over the past 30 years. What sets Webb apart is that it was designed to observe infrared light coming from space. The wavelength of infrared light is longer than that of the visible light humans can see. By observing this type of light, scientists expect to peer deeper into the universe than ever before, looking at events that occurred more than 13 billion years ago. The advanced technology will also help astronomers study the atmospheres of planets in our home galaxy, the Milky Way.
So the first images released from the new James Webb Space Telescope have astonished people. If you astonish people, it means you surprise them in a very deep and thorough way. And I have to say, people on the internet putting up James Webb Space Telescope images compared to Hubble telescope images, and you're just like, wow, why were we even happy with Hubble? But before Hubble, we had nothing. So now we have a lot of something.
Yeah. 好，所以呢 the first images 就是首批第一批的影像，因为 image 有 S 所以不止一张，所以第一批的影像，这个影像怎么样呢？是 released from the 就是从哪里释出来的，从这个新的 James Webb Space Telescope 就新的这个韦伯望远镜所释放出来的第一批的影像。那这整个是句子的主词，那句子的主词完了之后呢是动词 have astonished。 那 astonish 这个字呢就是使震惊，使惊奇，所以它就是你可以说 to cause a feeling of great wonder or surprise。 那像刚刚 Angela 老师讲说他在网络上有看到这个新的韦伯望远镜照出来的照片跟那个哈勃望远镜的照片一比，哇，真的是大家就觉得很震惊，怎么这么棒，或者是它改善了非常非常多，所以这个照片呢它使什么人震惊呢？使 people 人们，那哪里的人呢？ worldwide， 就是 throughout the world， 全世界的人看到这个照片都非常震惊，怎么这么的清楚，这么的好。
The Webb telescope is considered to be the successor to the famous Hubble telescope, which has made many scientific discoveries over the past 30 years. So it's not alone up there, the James Webb Space Telescope. Another famous space telescope was the Hubble, and I'm sure you've seen some of its beautiful pictures. Now, to be the successor means you are the one who follows someone or something before you. So Hubble was first, and Webb is second or now. And the Hubble was not doing nothing. It has made many scientific discoveries over the past 30 years. It blew everybody away, and now with the James Webb Space Telescope, that's why they use the verb astonished.
好 blow somebody away 也有震惊的意思，让大家吓了一跳，我觉得怎么这么棒。好，那我们看到这个句子，他说韦伯望远镜呢 is considered to be， 它被视为，这个 to be 有的时候可以省略掉。好，那它被视为什么呢？ the successor to， 各位注意那个 successor 后面接一个 to， the successor to somebody 或者 something 就是什么什么的继承者。好，那这个 to 你可以想着说对他来讲，对这个他的前辈来讲，我或者这个东西是个继承者，所以是用 to， 对某某人对某某事而言，所以这样子你就记得 the successor 后面是加 to， 所以他 大家都认为他是什么的继承者呢？是这个很有名的，用 the， 因为你一讲大家都知道，就用定冠词 the famous 这个非常知名的哈勃望远镜啊，大家都认为韦伯望远镜是哈勃望远镜的继承者。那 which 就是哈勃望远镜 has made many scientific discoveries。 好， to make discovery 就是做出发现，也就是发现。那在这里呢，他告诉我们说他有成就了，做出了很多 scientific 科学上的发现，然后呢，这是在 over the past 30 years， 是过去30年来，他已经有很大的贡献，做了很多科学上的发现。
Okay, second paragraph. What sets Webb apart is that it was designed to observe infrared light coming from space. The Hubble focuses on what we call visible light, the colors that we see naturally. But the Webb was not designed to see only visible light, but also infrared spectrum. And that is heat, basically. So it takes the temperature of things out there, but can convert that into visible light. And the Webb does not go around the Earth like the Hubble telescope. It's way out in space, much, much, much further out. And it's always at the same distance from the Earth and can point away from the Earth and get a really clear picture going back billions of light years.
Also, its lens wasn't initially installed backwards.
You mean like the Hubble?
The Hubble. They found out when it was in space that the lens had got put in backwards, which can you only imagine? That's like...
有点夸张
Yeah. They figured out how to use it anyways, but...
Okay. 好，所以
there was a cartoon on that where they have these astronomers in their coats and whatnot, and there's a sign on the wall. Telescopes are us, with the R, like toys are.
好，所以很有趣哦。他们这个进了太空，那这个望远镜进了太空，他们才发现到，哎呦，这个镜头装反了，这个蛮有趣的啊。这个很难置信啊，这个最不可能发生的事情居然发生了。好，那我们来看看这个地方，他讲到说 ，What sets Webb apart 啊 is that？ 那各位其实可以把这个 chunk 记起来啊，就 What sets something apart is that 什么什么，它的意思就是说，让这个东西与众不同的是什么什么啊。Set apart 就是把它放到一边去，也就是让它跟别的有所区别。好，所以让韦伯望远镜啊跟其他有所区别的，让韦伯望远镜与众不同的地方在哪里呢 ？Is that 啊后面用子句来解释。It was designed to 它的被设计来干嘛呢 ？Observe 就是观察，那 infrared 就是红外线。Light 是光，它是被用来观察，这个设计上它是用来观察红外线光的，而且这个光呢是 coming from space， 是来自于太空的光，它可能是很远啊，这个几十万光年好远的地方来的光，好，那用这个望远镜它就可以来观察这些红外线光。
The wavelength of infrared light is longer than that of the visible light humans can see.So light has different wavelengths. The wavelength is its frequency, and our human eyes only see a certain range of frequencies in light. And so infrared light is longer than what our eyes can see. But other animals actually can see infrared. And what's interesting is recently people have been taking infrared pictures of animals and showing us that what we think are very boring animals are actually super interesting in infrared.
哦，所以红外线光呢，这个人眼看不到的哈。那但是呢，这个最近刚刚 Angela 老师讲，有人用这个红外线光去照些这个去拍摄一些动物，就会发现这些动物其实有很多我们人类看不到的那一面啊。那这个地方讲到这个波长 wavelength 好，所以红外线光的波长 is longer than 比什么长呢 ？That 就是指 wavelength。这个波长比什么东西的波长长呢 ？That of that 这种代名词的用法呢，它可以取代前面一个普通名词但是它通常有另外一个特色，就是它后面会有修饰的片语。例如说，这个地方就是加 of， 通常它后面那个修饰片语就是 of 开头的，所以 is longer than that of something 那它比什么的波长长呢？比那个 the visible light， 就是可见光。那这可见光是怎么样 ？That humans can see 它比人类可以看到的可见光 的波长呢，红外线光还要比人类看到的波长还要更长。
By observing this type of light, that is infrared, scientists expect to peer deeper into the universe. Peer means to look very carefully at something or at something very far away. So very, very far from our Earth and solar system than ever before. The Hubble telescope cannot see nearly so far out as this Webb telescope. When you look at the light from very, very far away galaxies, stars, and so on, you're actually looking back in time as well, because it takes so much time for these objects, for the light or heat from these objects to get here to Earth. And they say that they can look back and detect objects that are 13 billion years ago. That's when their light left them. They may not even be there anymore, but we'll never know.
Yeah, because it's not like we can wait for 13 billion years to see when the light blinks
You're
out.
Late.
Exactly.
所以真的这个事情如果是130亿年以前发生的事情的话，其实我们也不知道到底是不是这样，或者我们也没有办法说看到130亿年以后的事情啊。那我们看到这个地方 by observing， 我们观察 this type of light 这种光线，科学家观察啊。那因为 by observing 它的主词没有讲出来，那通常就应该是后面那个主要子句的主词，也就是 scientists。所以科学家们透过观察这种光线呢，他们就 expect to， 他们期望，他们预期，也就是他们认为应该可以 peer deeper into。 peer 这个字就是仔细看或者很端详，或者费力的看，因为太远了，那也是 peer。所以他们预期，他们希望能够 peer deeper into， 更深入的去看 the universe， 更深入的去观察宇宙。Than ever before， 各位也可以把这个 chunk 背起来。Than ever before 就是比从前任何时候都还要如何如何，所以他们可以比从前任何时候看的都还要更深入的意思。Deeper 怎样than ever before。然后呢，他们可以 looking at， 他们可以看 events， 就是事情发生的事件，这些事情是 occurred， 发生是怎么样呢？在超过130亿年以前发生的事情所以在太空的深处，可能在130亿年以前发生一件事情。它发出了一个光，然后走了这么远，走到现在我们如果看到的话呢，其实已经隔了130亿年了。
So the advanced technology will also help astronomers study the atmospheres of planets in our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Why do we want to study the atmospheres of planets? That's the gases that Surround, thank you. I was thinking of the word coalesce, which is a little bit too fancy. So the gases that surround each planet in our whole galaxy, the Milky Way, we're not talking our solar system in these paltry 9 planets or whatever. We're talking about all of the potential planets around all of the stars in the Milky Way. I think because they want to find Earth too.
所以这很有趣所以我们看到说，他说这个 the advanced technology， 这个先进的科技，它也可以帮助 astronomers， 就是这个天文学家不要跟着太空人搞错，太空人是 astronaut A-S-T-R-O-N-A-U-T， 那这个 astro 都是 star 的意思都是星星的意思。好，所以它可以帮助这个天文学家研究行星的大气层atmosphere 就是大气层那在哪里的行星大气层呢？我们自己的 home 就是我们自己的，我们家乡的，也就是银河系这个 galaxy 就是这个星系。那所以他告诉你，这个 galaxy 就是所谓的同位语，告诉你是 the Milky Way。Okay,
let's come back to Earth, not to the ground of Earth, but at least to the atmosphere of our own planet, with our next short article called Flights Go Supersonic.
中文标题是快还要更快，世界最快超音速客机有望上市。
Okay, I'll read through these 2 short paragraphs, and then we'll get busy explaining these as well. Air travel is set to get a lot faster in the coming years.Bombardier, a Canadian jet manufacturer, recently announced that its next plane would be the world's fastest and longest-range business jet. The Global 8000 will have a seating capacity of 19 passengers, travel up to a distance of 8,000 nautical miles, and reach a top speed of Mach 0.94. In addition, one of Bombardier's current planes, the Global 7500, recently broke the sound barrier in tests, reaching a speed of more than Mach 1.015. The company said the Global 7500 is the first airplane to achieve supersonic speeds using sustainable aviation fuel. Bombardier is just one of many companies pushing the envelope on fast air travel.
Okay, I'm glad it said in the second last sentence, sustainable aviation fuel, because I'm like, didn't we do this before? Didn't we already have the Concorde jet in 4 hours between London and New York? Why is this new? But what's new is not using kerosene and not using, fossil fuels.
Very polluting fossil fuels.
It's not just that they're polluting, it's that they're limited. We only got so much. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. When you could make plastic, why would you burn it as fuel? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, go from A to B, but...
just to go to... There's so many other ways to do this, but whatever. So the article says, air travel is set to get a lot faster in the coming years. Like, air travel is already very fast, except that it's very slow when you're using it to hop around places like the United States because there's so much other rigmarole. The actual travel itself is fast. It's all the other stuff that's slow.
Yeah. 好，所以这个航空旅行本身是非常快速的啦，哈，那只是前面登机啦、检查等等那些会花很多时间啊。那还有呢，刚刚 Angel 老师谈到说，这个他看到这个标题或者看到这个 article 的时候，他本来觉得说，这个我们不是本来已经有很快的超音速客机了吗？啊，但是差别是在于，现在这个新的超音速客机，它用的是在文章最后有讲到是 sustainable aviation fuel 啊，就是可以永续的航空燃油，所以它可能不是使用这个总有一天会用完的石油啊，所以它的燃料不一样了。那我们再回来看到这个句子，它第一句文章就说，告诉你说 air travel 就是航空旅行。It's set to be set to 就是 to be ready to do something 或者 to be about to do something 很快就要做了，准备好了。好，所以航空旅行呢准备好了，很快的它将会 get 就是变得 a lot faster 快很多 in the coming years 未来几年。
Bombardier, a Canadian jet manufacturer, recently announced it told the public through different media that its next plane, its newest plane, would be the world's fastest and longest-range business jet. Now, there are many kinds of aircraft that different companies make around the world. A business jet is normally much smaller than your 747, 777, and so on, much smaller. And it's definitely a first-class luxury kind of aircraft.
所以这个 business jet 我们当然看起来翻译就直接翻成商用客机啊，但它其实是类似私人飞机那种，是比较小的，比那个什么747啊什么727、737那种大客机比较小的那种是叫做商用客机，所以可能是公司可以买来当这个飞机来用的这国外的公司好，所以我们看到这个地方讲到说 Bombardier 这个公司，它同位语告诉你它是一个加拿大的喷射机 jet manufacturer 制造商那他 recently 最近 announced 宣布他说他的 next plane 他下一架飞机将会是世界上最快的 would be the world's fastest 那这个 would 为什么是用过去式呢？因为它主要动词是 announced 所以 announced 是过去式，所以后面这个本来是 will be 但也要变成 would be 所以它下一架飞机会是世界最快的，而且是 longest range range 是指航程或者像武器的话是讲射程，那 longest range 就是它的航程是最远的，它是最快航程最远的商用客机。
The Global 8000, the name of this plane, will have a seating capacity of 19 passengers. Boy, it's hard to break even with that few people. It will travel up to a distance of 8,000 nautical miles, which is pretty much enough to get you across the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Does it get you across the Pacific? Not exactly.
Not quite.
The Pacific is so much bigger than the Atlantic. Anyways, this airplane will also reach a top speed of Mach 0.94, which doesn't really mean much to me. I really can't imagine that kind of speed.
Well, the speed of sound is 1.0 Mach.
Oh, got it. So just under the speed of sound.
Because if you hit the limit or go over it, you get that shock wave.
You get that boom.
Yeah, 好，所以呢，这个地方讲到说这架飞机the Global 8000这飞机这个型号will have a seating capacity of 19，就是说它的座位容量，也就是它有19个座位。好，这 capacity 是容量，好，所以它的 seating capacity 就它能够坐几个人呢？坐19个人19 passengers。好，所以我们从这里就知道它是那种小型的飞机了19可以坐19个人的。那 travel 它的航行呢 up to 这地方讲的是距离，它的飞行呢可以最大可达 up to 就最远可以飞到 a distance of 是多少的距离呢？是8000里，而且是海里 nautical miles 就是海里。然后它可以 reach 可以到达 a top speed of 它的极速最快的速度可以到达 0.94 马赫。那这个换算成这个时速公里时速的话就是1150公里，它的时速可以到1150公里，所以非常的快。好，那一个马赫就等于就是音速了。
In addition, one of Bombardier's current planes, the Global 7500, recently broke the sound barrier in tests, reaching a speed of more than Mach 1.015. The sound barrier means when you hit that speed, there is a break in the physical quality of objects moving through space. If they hit Mach 1 or more, they cause a sonic boom, this a very, very loud and sometimes destructive wave of energy.
好，所以此外呢，这家公司现有的飞机 current planes 它现在有的飞机同位语就是这一架 The Global 这个7500这个型号呢 recently 它最近 broke 打破了 the sound barrier 就是音障就你超过音速的时候呢会有一个很大的音爆的音障那样一个阶段，但是它是 in tests 在测试的时候，那测试跟实际状况可能会有不一样，但至少在测试的时候打破了这个音障了。那 reaching a speed of 它到达的一个速度，这个速度是 more than 超过 1.015 马赫，所以它的时速超过了1240公里。
The company said that the Global 7500 is the first airplane to achieve supersonic speeds using sustainable aviation fuel. So it's the first time that an airplane using this new kind of fuel was able to break the sound barrier.
好，所以这家公司说呢，这个Global 7500呢是第一架飞机来怎么样的？这个 the first plane to do something 就是可以做到这件事情的第一架飞机所以它可以 achieve 它可以达到supersonic speeds 达到超音速的速度的飞机，它是第一架，而且重点是它用的是 sustainable 永续的 aviation fuel 就是航空燃油。
Bombardier is just one of many companies pushing the envelope on fast air travel. So it's not only Bombardier, there are many other jet manufacturers throughout the world. If you push the envelope, this means you try to break records. You try to establish new and maybe controlling disciplines or abilities.
好，所以这家公司呢，它只是许多公司其中的一家。那这许多公司都在干嘛呢？都在 pushing the envelope on fast air travel。在快速航空旅行这一块呢，他们都在 push the envelope 的意思是测试或者是试探极限在哪里或者是试着要打破那个限制。所以我们讲这个青少年常常会 push the envelope of their parents' rules 父母亲说你不可以做这个不可以做这个，那青少年就去试试看我做做看会不会被罚不会没事下次再继续再做更夸张一点。
It goes from you can't stay out at night to well at least you have to come back by 10 or to at least you have to come back by 12 to
or
at
call.
least you have to call
所以就是本来不能出去的本来不能在外面过夜的，后来只好父母亲只好让步说9点以前要回来，后来变10点以前要回来，后来变12点以前要回来，后来变得你至少要打个电话回家。
Okay, that's it for today's lesson. Until then,
bye-bye.